We chopped the frame on our brand new travel trailer and extended it. And by we, I mean I drew the rough plans and our friend Tony and his buddy Aaron did all the hard work. And it came out really nice. Now, all of these modern travel trailers, for the most part, have frames that come out of China, made by Lippert. Lippert makes almost every component in RVs these days. And the Lippert frames, primarily everyone I've seen uses an I-beam style frame. An I-beam frame, well, it looks like a capital letter I. It basically has a centerpiece and then two flanges, one top and bottom. In our case, the I-beam total height is about 6 inches, and then the flange on the top and bottom is about 2 inches. Now, the advantage of an I-beam frame is that they're really lightweight for how strong they are. And that's really nice. But they're only strong when you go to bend them front to back, up and down. So if you're taking a load on them, they're very strong this way. But they're not strong when it comes to bending laterally or torsional strength. And that's where you really have to have proper engineering on the frames to have the right amount of cross members to keep everything strong and working. These frames definitely have engineering into them. How strong they are, that varies. There's a lot of people on the internet that have had issues with Lippert frames, but I think a lot of it has to do with how the manufacturers of the trailer set up the suspension and then how the load forces are transferred onto that frame. Now, this frame, being that we extended the whole front hitch assembly, is very different now than it used to be. Originally, the hitch came out from the front of the trailer, I think it was right under 4 feet of total distance, and then we extended it out almost 3 feet. So we stick out about 6 feet or so from the front of the trailer, just general numbers there. And you might ask, why in the world would we want to chop our frame off and extend it? And there's actually a number of reasons for it. For one, in our case, we have a really small trailer, so we needed more storage space. And really the best place to get more storage was with the tongue box. And we found a really nice lightweight tongue box that fits the trailer, especially with this weird rounded front edge profile, and it kind of tucks up into there. And it's kind of perfect for what we need. So we wanted the extra storage. The second thing is our tow vehicle has a tailgate that swings open. And with the original tongue setup, we could only open the tailgate a couple inches. So we really couldn't get anything in or out of the truck without disconnecting the trailer, which is a really big hassle when you're out on a trip and you want to just get it in the back of the truck. So with this extension, we actually can open the tailgate fully with the tongue box on there. So kind of check 2 boxes there. And then third, we needed to be able to take this thing further off-road. And one of the big challenges with off-roading is that it's not level. So you need to do really tight jackknife cornering. Let's just say you get to a dead-end road and you have to back out, or you have to turn the thing around in a really small space, which I'm sure will never happen to us. But if it does, we want to be able to jackknife this thing and not have the truck running into the trailer, because we really don't need a collision at our own expense. The second thing is that it allows for the truck and trailer to go at different angles like this, front to back. So if the tow vehicle starts climbing a steep hillside, the back of the truck is going to be tipping into the trailer. And the way the setup was on the original tongue, the jack, electric jack stuck up, and that thing would have hit the back of the truck at any extreme angle. And then you had the propane bottles, and you couldn't really jackknife it fully without it starting to get the body into the body of the trailer. Just not an ideal situation. So that is one of the reasons, or the main reasons, that we were extending it. There are some additional benefits, such as extending the wheelbase on a really short trailer like this. It actually makes it tow a little better. It also decreases how much weight is on the tow vehicle by doing the hitch extension. So basically, any weight you put on basically in front of the wheels of a trailer is going to load some of the weight onto the wheels of the trailer, the axle of the trailer, and then some of the weight onto the tow vehicle. And so the further out you make that hitch extension, basically the less load is going to affect the tow vehicle based on where it's positioned. So if you position it right in the middle, you're basically 50-50 on the axle and the tow vehicle. So one of the things we were doing is we removed the water tank from underneath the trailer. In order for it to work well in winter, really the best thing to do with water systems is to have it all contained inside of whatever unit. So with our truck camper, it had all the systems inside the four walls, in which case you could do freezing temperatures and not worry about anything. Water stored outside the vehicle is extremely hard to keep from freezing, even with heating pads and insulation and blowing heat down onto it. It's just at some point, the cold is going to want to overtake that and freeze stuff up. So when we move the tanks inside the trailer, they're basically further forward from the original position underneath the trailer, which is basically going to put more load on the tow vehicle. But because we extended the hitch out, it's going to lessen that and allow us to not, put quite so much burden on our tow vehicle. So this frame extension, it's all made out of 2x5 square tubing that's 120 wall. And it's basically a very similar design to what the factory hitch was, with the exception that the factory hitch came in to the front of the I-beam frame, maybe 10 inches back from the front is where it kind of angled in. And so that really didn't offer a whole lot of support in that front triangle there. And so what we did is we moved that back 2 feet from the front of the I-beam, put a new cross member in the front, cross member in the rear, and essentially by boxing it all in, just gave it a ton of additional strength. Now this is longer, so we'll add more leverage onto the frame, and there's potential that it won't like that, but I guess we'll find out when we start using this really hard. But the idea is that we can essentially drag the frame of this trailer and not break it where we're off-roading and going into some harder destinations. And so that's the idea behind this whole thing. Now, we will update you guys and show you the new sweet articulating hitch that we put on, as well as the jack setup, which is super cool, innovative design that has never been done before. And we'll show you the tongue box, but we just painted this, so it's not quite to that point. And we're gonna let's go ahead and give you a quick update on the rest of our projects. Let's walk around the side here and see kind of what it's looking like. So you can see down the side, we have the compartment removed. So we have a bunch of holes in the side of the trailer that are gonna get filled in. And so this compartment is not gonna be needed because that's where the water tank's gonna go, or one of the water tanks. And so all these little holes, these penetrations, were getting filled in. This is where the propane heater was, so these will go away. And then back here, we're actually gonna cut in a hole and have access to kind of behind and under the fridge area. So give us a little bit of storage gain there. You can see the outside shower, removed that in the back. And on the back side here, we've got the power port, we're removing that. Our solar system, we'll go over that in another video. All of the water connection points, as well as the water heater and a switch out here. So all these getting filled in. So the idea of filling all of these holes in is basically for thermal. So it's really hard to seal a trailer from dust and cold or hot. And so the less penetrations you have in your whole shell, the more efficient it's going to be, and just it's going to be much more functional, really in every regard. I mean, you're driving down a dusty road, you just don't want everything just being sucked into the cabin space here, which you can't help with that with doing a little pressurization of the cabin. But let's go ahead and check out inside the trailer, because we've been doing a lot of work in here. Welcome to our disaster. So this is where the fridge used to be, and you can see all the wiring pulled out. We're rewiring most of the trailer and rebuilding the fridge cabinet. And then this is where the kitchen was. All the cabinetry is removed. So we're gonna build a whole new cabinet system that kind of utilizes space a lot better. And because we don't have the oven, there's no propane for the oven. There's gonna be an induction cooktop. We're using a gasoline heater and a really sweet water heater that we'll be showing you guys in a later video. And so that all is gonna fit in this space here. The bed area is mostly unchanged. When we fold up the bed, I'll show you our improvements to the table, because it is super awesome to be able to deploy the table and put it back down super easy. And our previous video kind of showed you how it was really awkward to move around that table in there. And then the bathroom, you can see we're kind of mocking stuff up with the box on the wall. We've got the compost toilet kind of set in place. You kind of just figure out the space, and then you can see the floor is actually elevated. So we lifted the floor about 13 inches, and underneath the floor is where the lithium batteries are going and the Victron inverter and just a little extra storage space. So we just yesterday got all that stuff kind of framed in, kind of mocked up, and so it'll all be coming back out and getting cleaned up and painted and all this. So we'll be doing some updates on that coming up here really soon, as well as doing all the wiring. And we'll show you our fancy solar power setup to maybe do a separate video on that, because we have 1,200 watts of solar on the roof and side of this trailer now, which is pretty awesome. So thanks for watching our progress. We'll see how this works. I mean, maybe the hitch extension was a great idea and brilliant, or maybe it was a terrible idea and it'll fall apart. So if you want to have some fun entertainment at our expense, go ahead and stay tuned for that. And we will also be keeping you guys posted on our progress here this next week as we continue to renovate and put stuff back into our trailer. So thanks very much for watching. If you have any questions, post them up in the comments below. We would be glad to answer any of them. Or if you have any thoughts or suggestions, other than telling us that we're not intelligent people to rip apart a brand new trailer, then go ahead and do that. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.
Bye.